On this episode of Mixin' Some Magic, I'm talking all about after-hours events at the Disneyland Resort. Are they worth the extra money? And what if you just showed up and only did rides? How short would your wait times be? How many attractions could you get done? I put it to the test, and I am here to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Melissa with Mixin' Some Magic. I'm a Disney planning expert, and I'm here to mix a little magic into your day. Each week I share Disney vacation planning tips, park strategies, and a little bit of Disney history sprinkled in. Of course, I like to include lots of Disney magic. Join me, let's mix in some magic. Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you're having a great day. School is out at my house officially as of today, so it's summertime, and we're going to celebrate by going to Olive Garden. What a better way to celebrate, and I am super excited. Breadsticks at Olive Garden are the very best. If you've ever been to Pizza Planet, they have breadsticks, and they look a lot like Olive Garden breadsticks, but don't be fooled. They don't taste like Olive Garden breadsticks. So if you order them like I have, you're excited. You're like, these are going to be great, but they're not. They're not great. So here's a little tip. Just skip the breadsticks at Pizza Planet because they're not like Olive Garden's breadsticks. And in my opinion, they are not worth the money for those breadsticks. I feel like I've gotten off topic, but I would skip them. So now that summer's in full swing, I'm going to make up some little job charts for my kids so they have things to do every day. This is their least favorite part of summer, but I like them to be a little bit productive. I mean, I want them to have free time and do the things that they want to do, but I also want them to be a little bit productive. And so me making a chore chart is a great thing. Plus, then my house stays cleaner. And now that they're older, I've started having them each take a night to be in charge of dinner during the summer. And that has been amazing because, I hate making dinner. Oh, I actually don't hate making it. I just hate thinking of what to make for dinner. It's just a lot of extra mental effort that I don't love. So I assign each of my kids a night. They're in charge of coming up with what we're having, telling me what I need to buy for their dinner, and then they make it. I will help them if they need help because they're learning how to cook and things like that, but it's really nice to not have to be in charge of dinner every single night. So I love that. My husband's going to take a night too. It's going to be awesome. That means I only have to do dinner one night a week for the summer. I can't wait. Weirdest thing this morning, I woke up, I was getting ready for the day, putting on my mascara, and I noticed this little red speck on my eyeball, and I pulled up my eyelid, and I have a huge popped blood vessel right on my eyeball. You can't see it when I'm just looking at you normally, but if I pull up my eyelid, then you can see it, and it's huge, and it's gross, and it's bright red. It looks like this bright red blood spot, and it's disgusting, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know where it came from. According to the internet, it's probably nothing, and I just rubbed my eyes too hard at some point, which I don't know when that happened, or I have a terrible illness. It's one or the other. I'm hoping it's just I rubbed my eyes too hard, maybe in my sleep. I don't know, but it's not cute, and it's a little disturbing. I'm trying not to look at it. Hopefully it goes away quick, and hopefully it's really nothing and not a terrible illness. Well, that's all the things happening at my house, my bloody eyeball, and school out for the summer. Exciting stuff. Let's talk about something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting. Let's talk about after-hours events at the Disneyland Resort. But first, let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Mixin' Some Magic. Ads are a pain in the butt. I really don't like them, but unfortunately, they are a necessary evil when you run a podcast. If you're listening to the ad and affiliate supported version of Mixin' Some Magic, thank you. Your support helps keep Mixin' Some Magic running. If you're listening to the ad-free version on Patreon, thank you as well. Your monthly support is so appreciated and helps me with equipment costs, editing software, research materials for the show, and more. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, I'll put a link in the show notes. There's several membership options, with the lowest being $5 a month. All Patreon supporters are invited to attend our monthly Disney book club as well. So come and join us. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the episode. Today, I am thrilled to share with you my ultimate Disney travel hack, Getaway Today. As a diehard Disney fan, I've taken countless trips to Disney destinations, and Getaway Today has booked them all. I've been using them for over 15 years, and let me tell you, using Getaway Today has been a game changer. So, what is so special about Getaway Today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's the scoop. Getaway Today specializes in Disney vacations, and they've got the inside exclusive deals and discounts to Disney parks. Their park tickets are always discounted off the gate price, and they have amazing deals on hotels. They even have deals on cruises and Aulani in Hawaii. Trust me, you won't find these magical offers anywhere else. Whether you're planning a family vacation, a romantic getaway, or a solo adventure, Getaway Today can craft a personalized package to suit your Disney dreams. It's like having your own fairy godmother for vacation planning. Whatever you have in mind, they can help you make it happen. Getaway Today offers layaway plans, which is amazing, because Disney dreams shouldn't come with a hefty price tag, at least not all at once. Getaway Today offers payment plans that make it easy for you to budget and plan the perfect Disney vacation. They also have the very best customer service. Seriously, they are a small family-owned business, and they really care about your vacation. Their customer service is top-notch. The Getaway Today team is filled with Disney experts who have actually been to the park. They've actually stayed in the hotels. They know their stuff, and they are as passionate about Disney as you are. They go above and beyond to make sure your trip is practically perfect in every way. Booking through Getaway Today is super easy. You can book using their website. I've put a link in the show notes, or you can call them at 855-GETAWAY and tell them Mix and Some Magic sent you for the best deals. As a special treat for our listeners, Getaway Today is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the promo code MIX10 at checkout or over the phone, and you can save an extra $10 on packages. Thanks for tuning in, dear Disney listeners. Now go ahead, plan that unforgettable Disney adventure with Getaway Today, and let the magic begin. I recently attended Star Wars Nite, which is an after-hours event held at the Disneyland Resort. This is a special ticketed event, so you have to pay extra to get into the party, and this event was held at the Disneyland Park. So some events are held over at California Adventure, some are held at Disneyland, and basically with an after-hours event, you get to enjoy shorter wait times on attractions. They have special themed food. Sometimes they usually have different character meet and greets, sometimes little shows that are special to that event. But the parks are way less crowded because they only sell a limited amount of tickets to each event. Then there are lower crowd levels, which is really nice. Now, if you don't have a ticket to an after-hours event that is happening on the day of your visit, then you will be asked to leave the parks early. So our event kicked off at 9 p.m. and lasted until 1 a.m., but with our special events tickets, we were able to get into the park at 6 p.m., and then the party officially started at 9 p.m., but at 8 p.m., they started asking guests who didn't have party tickets to leave the park. So when we checked into the party, we showed them our ticket. They gave us a wristband and a little lanyard that said Star Wars Nite. And then we went and grabbed some dinner. We went to Tiana's Palace. Our plan was to have dinner before the party actually kicked off because we wanted to see how many attractions we could get done during the event. Because I have people ask me all the time, if the after hours parties are worth it, and it's always a hard question to answer. Because if you are a huge Star Wars fan, then yes, I'm sure it's worth it to go to this party if you love Star Wars stuff. But what if your trip happens to fall on an after hours event, you're not really interested in the event, but you don't really want to leave the park early? Is it worth it to buy a ticket? That was my question. So I attended Star Wars Nite fully intending to only go on rides and not worry about the Star Wars Nite festivities. And I was pleasantly surprised by how much we were able to actually get done. So I'm going to go through my whole night with you. We'll relive it together. I have my pictures pulled up so that I can look at them and remember what was happening. So we checked in at 6 p.m. We went and had dinner, and then we were ready to hit the ground running. As soon as dinner was over, we decided to start going on attractions. Now, our goal was to hit all the attractions in the park. We did not do that. I thought it was a lofty goal, but we didn't take into account the length of attractions. So although wait times were really, really low, we didn't take into account how long the rides were sometimes. So maybe we only waited 15 minutes for Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's a 15-minute ride. So we weren't able to get every single ride in the park done, which was okay because we still did a ton. Our first ride was Pirates of the Caribbean. The posted wait time was 25 minutes. We waited 15 minutes. Now this was at about 6:30 p.m. So the party, remember, doesn't officially start until 9 p.m., but we started hitting rides earlier than that because we really wanted to see how many we could get done once we were able to be in the park with our special event ticket. So we did Pirates of the Caribbean first. Then we headed over to Buzz Lightyear. The posted wait time was 20 minutes. The standby line was 15 minutes. After that, we went over to Autopia. The posted wait time was 15 minutes. We waited for 10 minutes. Next, we did Finding Nemo. The posted wait time was 5 minutes. The actual wait time was 1 minute and 42 seconds, which is my kind of wait time for Finding Nemo, because that line can get so long. We got onto Nemo a little before 8 p.m. So at this point, they hadn't started asking regular park guests without event tickets to leave the park yet. So this was still the normal park crowds, although I think it felt a little less crowded because a lot of people don't want to buy a park ticket to Disneyland on an event night and have to leave the park early. So they'll either rearrange their schedule so they can go to California Adventure, or they'll just plan on visiting at a different time. So Nemo was a short wait. Loved that. Next, we went over to Star Tours. The posted wait time was 15 minutes, but then the ride broke down. And we ended up waiting 27 minutes, which was kind of a bummer because we were in the mode of like, go, get all the things done that we can. But it happens. Rides break down. We could have left the line, but we decided to stick it out because it's such a tricky thing. You never know. Is it going to open up right now and the ride's going to be fixed and we're going to get moving, or are we going to wait for 45 minutes? You don't know. It's always a tough call, but we decided to stick it out and we ended up waiting 27 minutes. After that, we went on Astro Orbiters, and at this point it was 9:20 and the party had officially started. Astro Orbiters was a walk-on. So at this point, everybody who was in the parks had their wristband and their lanyard and were Star Wars party guests. Next, we went over to Rise of the Resistance. The posted wait time was 45 minutes. We only waited for 25. After that, we did Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The posted wait time was 30 minutes, but we waited for 8 minutes. After that, we did Indiana Jones. The posted wait time was 15 minutes, and we waited for 11 minutes. Basically, it was walk on. It took us 11 minutes to just walk through their whole queue. So that was really nice. Next, we did Jungle Cruise. This was about 11 o'clock at night. Jungle Cruise was a walk-on, which is always fun. After that, we did Peter Pan. This may be what I'm most excited about because Peter Pan is always a long wait. You can always plan on waiting 35 to 40 minutes for Peter Pan, no matter what time of day it is. But the posted wait time, this is about 11:30 at night, was 15 minutes and we waited for 10 minutes. It was beautiful. A 10-minute wait for Peter Pan, that's worth the cost of the party ticket right there. After that, we did Snow White, which was a walk-on. Then we did Pinocchio, which was a walk-on. Then we did Mr. Toad, which was a 2-minute wait. After that, we did Alice in Wonderland, which was a walk-on. Then we headed over and did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which was a walk-on. At this point, it was about 12:15. We decided to go on Roger Rabbit, which is my least favorite ride in the entire park, but it was a walk-on, so I was able to do it. If you wanted me to wait for an hour for Roger Rabbit, I can't do it. I just can't do it. But if you want me to walk on Roger Rabbit, I can do that. I'm there for that. After we finished Roger Rabbit, it was 12:40, so we had about 20 minutes before the party ended. And we decided to try to squeeze in 2 more rides. We were hoping to be able to do Matterhorn and Hyperspace Mountain all in 20 minutes. Matterhorn, we ran over there and we were so excited and it was closed, which made me a little bit annoyed because why did they close it down? It's not like it was broken down. It was completely closed for the night. Like no more cast members were there. And I thought that was annoying because we're here at this after hours party. We paid our money and the party's not over yet. I wanted all the rides to be running. That was the only time that a ride wasn't up and running. And it had been up and running earlier in the night. They just closed it down a little early. I'm not sure why. So we went over to Hyperspace Mountain. We knew this wait was going to be a little bit longer than other parties because it's a popular ride during Star Wars Night, because Hyperspace Mountain is different than regular Space Mountain. It has a Star Wars overlay. So that's exciting for people who love Star Wars. So we knew that this one was going to be a little bit longer. The posted wait time was 65 minutes, but we actually only waited 25 minutes, which wasn't bad at all. We stayed till 1 a.m. I mean, it was actually like 1:30 by the time we got off of Star Wars and were ready to head back to our hotel. But we got 18 rides done from 6 p.m. until 1 a.m., which is pretty amazing in my book. It's really, really good to be able to hit that many rides in 7 hours. I thought it was amazing. On a regular park day, if you did 18 rides in your whole day, then you would feel pretty darn good about that. But on an after hours party, when you can get 18 rides done in that shorter time frame, I feel like it's even better. After hours parties are nice, especially in the summer because it's not hot. It's nice to be in the parks when the heat's not beating down on you. My only problem with the after hours parties are they go really late. I mean, I know that's the only way that they can do them because they are after hours parties and they want regular park guests to get their money's worth and not have to leave the park too early. But man, 1 a.m. is rough. It is rough for me. I didn't get to bed till after 2:30 and then I rope dropped the next day and I was just so tired. But I do like the after hours parties. So if you are visiting Disneyland, it happens to be an after hours event, consider going to it just for the short wait times. Maybe you find out that there's an after hours party on the day that you're planning on visiting and you drop one of your park days. Like maybe instead of going for 3 days, you do 2 days in the park and then you do an after hours event, knowing that you're going to be able to hit all of those rides with really short wait times and you'll get your money's worth completely. So that could be a way to go. I would totally consider doing that. I do want to do more testing on this over in California Adventure Park. So I'm going to get tickets to go to Oogie Boogie Bash in September. Tickets don't go on sale yet. They haven't announced the dates. Usually it's June or July, but we haven't heard anything about the ticket sale date yet. But I'm going to go to Oogie Boogie Bash this fall, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to probably not do hardly any of the Halloween party offerings and just do rides and see what we can get done. I honestly think we'll be able to get every single ride done because there's a lot fewer attractions over in California Adventure, but I think it would be fun to try because a lot of people feel really disappointed when they find out there's an after hours event happening over their vacation because they don't want to leave the park early. But if they could buy a ticket just for that event and maybe not a regular park day ticket that day and hit up shorter wait times, it really might be worth looking into. Now, I did recently do an after hours party over at Disney World, and there are some big differences. Mainly, the difference is Walt Disney World does a lot of after hours parties, but their after hours parties are not themed. They just are late hours in the park. So the rides are open and there's a lot fewer crowds. I love this at Walt Disney World because it's hot in Florida a lot of the time. So if you happen to be visiting, especially during a hot time of the year, then take a look at the after hours parties in Florida. I'm actually going to put a link in the show notes with the discounted rates that you can check out. You might want to add an after hours party just so you can be in the parks later when it's not hot and you can get those shorter wait times. Another huge benefit of an after hours party at Walt Disney World is they give you free treats and drinks. Why we don't get this at Disneyland, I do not know. I'm actually pretty bitter about it because I think we deserve the same perks that people at Walt Disney World get, but they give you popcorn, ice cream bars, they have Mickey Mouse ice cream sandwiches, they have these fruit bars, and then they give you bottled water, Diet Coke, Coke, or Sprite. And it's amazing. You feel real special when you're walking around Disney World and you walk by these carts and there's just like bottles of soda set out and you grab one as you walk by and you keep on going. It's amazing. I wish we had it at Disneyland. I don't know that that will ever happen, but we can dream. So think about adding an after hours event to your day. If you are looking at the calendar and you realize there's an after hours event happening during your vacation, don't feel too bad because you can go and really knock out a ton of rides with very short wait times, or maybe this is a good day to have a rest day or an early night day. So regular guests had to leave the park at 8 p.m., which I know can feel disappointing when you wanted more time in the park. But you know what else is also good? Like going back to your hotel, getting a good night's sleep, and being fresh and ready to go for the next day. That's not a bad thing either, especially if you have little kids. Maybe don't look at it as such a terrible thing. It might really be a blessing in disguise. But if you don't want to deal with it at all, maybe that is a great day to have a rest day. There's so many fun things you can do on rest days. You can go to downtown Disney. There's beaches nearby. There's movie theaters, packing district. There's all kinds of fun things. Although my kids are always just happy to hang out at the hotel and swim on our rest days, which is also really good too because it's free. Well, I know this is a super short episode, but I wanted to just get that information out there for anybody who's thinking about maybe an after hours event at Disneyland. In June, there are 2 after hours events for Pride Night, June 18th and the 20th, and I don't think they are sold out. So you could add those to your vacation if you happen to be there over June 18th and the 20th. There's also grad nights happening in June 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th, and 14th. And these are after hours events that you cannot go to unless you are a grad and your school bought tickets. So grad night is not an option to add for an after hours party, but they do have after hours parties usually once a month. It seems like lately. I don't think there's any scheduled for July, but they usually come up with a few different ones. And last year they let us know in January what they would all be, which is nice. So you could kind of start planning. Now, the next after hours event after Pride Night that you could go to if you wanted is the Oogie Boogie Bash, which takes place on most Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, starting at the end of August and going all the way through October. So if you're visiting in the fall, Oogie Boogie Bash might be a good one to go to. It has really fun Halloween things happening. So I do like the offerings for Oogie Boogie Bash. There's trick-or-treating. People show up in costumes. There's Villains Grove where you walk through Redwood Creek Challenge Trail and it's all villainy and really cool with lights and music and special effects. There's a Halloween parade, which is really cool. And then they also have, of course, all of the attractions that you can ride on, and they have villains out and about everywhere that you can meet. So I love Oogie Boogie Bash. I used to say it was my favorite after hours party, but now I'm kind of thinking that any after hours party is my favorite if I'm just going to do the attractions. I've kind of sold on the after hours parties. I have been to some in the past, like Princess Night that I went to, and I just did the the events for the night, the princessy events, and I really didn't like it at all. I thought it was a big waste of my money. I didn't like what they had for us at the party, but I didn't go on many rides. Now, if Princess Night, I had just thrown all the princess stuff out the window and gone on rides, I would have thought it was great. So that's going to be my go-to in the future for after hours parties. If I go, I'm just going to do rides and be really happy with short wait times. Maybe not all the way for Oogie Boogie Bash, because I do love the Halloween parade. I'll probably have to check that out and maybe go see a few villains, and I could always use candy for, hit up a few trick-or-treat trails. But there you go. Now you have the information kind of about wait times and what you can actually get done if you don't want to do the regular party stuff and just want to enjoy attractions. I hope this episode was helpful for you. I know it's a shorter one, but I got to get going to Olive Garden. I've got breadsticks waiting for me. I appreciate you listening. You are amazing. I'll be back next week with something new. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk soon.